What is up? What is up, y'all? Just gotta make sure everything is running smoothly real quick. We were on day 26. I was trying to download like this little thing where I could do like little help desk tasks, but that did not end up working out the way I wanted it to. Not that it wasn't gonna work like at all, but I literally cannot figure out how to download. As y'all can tell, I'm cold as hell, so I got this blanket on. Not me accidentally rhyming. And also too, y'all, I have finally been monetized. Now I can finally put some ads on these damn videos. And I guess I could put this Deuces mug on my screen, which I honestly thought it was gonna pop up somewhere else, but I guess that's where it's popping up. Guess that's fine. But yes, I could finally have some ads on my stream, which I think is crazy. And you could literally click a button to insert an ad. Like, I had no idea. This is like absurd. I've never been more happier in my life to finally be able to do this. And the point isn't like about like, oh yes, like I'm monetized, like I want money. At the end of the day, you're not even gonna make good money at all, like for a long time on YouTube. So that's not the point. But the point is that it's like finally, like, you know how many people shoot for like monetization and it just doesn't like work or it doesn't happen for them. But right now I'm trying to get my setup a little bit set because I'm starting in like a weird way today. Normally this isn't the way that I start, but trying to get everything to be set up right now. And yes, look at my Deuces mug and my web dev pad, my mouse pad. Like, everything looks great so far. But yeah, so we're getting into, I guess, possibly trying to troubleshoot. I need to make sure this camera is on by all means. And then, yes, because I forgot I got to use this screen. I'm a little bit behind. Today, but it's okay because we don't have too much going on. What is up, Aniket? What is up? How are you, my guy? I know that you ended up, I think last I've heard from you, you ended up getting a full stack position for a startup, which is super dope. And I think you're still in college as well. I think college is still going around this time. So what is up? What is up? I'm trying to get this to be set so by the time I start taking notes, everything looks good. Yeah, something like this. I think that looks well. All right. Now I just need to go and find the website. You said, how am I doing? I'm doing great. I finally got the channel monetized, which makes me super happy. Finally have been able to make merch, been able to put ads, and I just ended up filming a video right before this. So can't wait to go and upload that. So I'm just super happy to finally have a different, place to, if eventually this YouTube channel were to go crazy at some point, I'm happy to have a place where I could finally make some extra income. But as of right now, of course, it's not going to be like that. It takes a long time. I need to find this website, which might take me a minute. Let me see. Oh yeah, because I think I was taking notes from here. Like, I should have bookmarked it, but y'all know me, like, I just be forgetting stuff. So I really gotta, and then all last night, I've been trying to, like I said, download somebody's home lab or a place where I could do some home lab stuff, and I screwed myself. I legitimately screwed myself, and it was taking so damn long. So now, okay, perfect. I got everything set up. Let's go, jump back here. You say, yo, what is up, SB? What is up? How are you? Says, I'm half dead. My freelancing job will be done by tomorrow, but I have like 5 assignments and 2 practicals pending, with exams approaching. Oh my goodness, man, that's tough. That is tough, but you got it. I believe in you. You definitely got it. Definitely. But that is tough. I couldn't imagine having I didn't mean to jump screens that easily. But having such a busy schedule like that. Like, I know my schedule is busy, but imagine like that, where it's like, okay, assignments, exams, career, like, I'll be going through it. So I think what we had written here says, visit your motherboard's manufacturers. I don't know if I finished that, which I don't believe so, because that topic was supposed to be about test the individual sticks. So right here, and then I said visit your motherboards. I don't know exactly where we went. I wrote down cleaning the modules, check the compatibility. I feel like we kind of know that. Inspect the power supply. Okay, so that could be another thing too that we should take a note on. So right now, based on the title, is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to understand some troubleshooting that we could possibly do with certain issues. So this in particular is troubleshooting is if the DRAM refresh failure, if there is a DRAM refresh failure, a couple of things that you could possibly go and look at. And I'm only writing down the ones I feel like I wouldn't think of. I wouldn't have thought to clean the modules or to clean, yeah, like I wouldn't have thought to clean it. And even if I did, I feel like I wouldn't have known how. Obviously, for these certain things, you can obviously possibly look them up when you are needing to do it, or when you hear the beep, you're like, okay, let me just look up what to do. But I want to be able to take these notes and kind of understand a lot of the troubleshooting for now, so that I could hopefully stand out in a crowd of people who probably aren't going to really know, because they do hire kind of anybody in a help desk position. As long as you can talk, right? They'll sit there and train you for what you need to do, what you can say, and if you have a little bit of tech skills. But I really, really want to stand out because I want them to feel as though I'm not even, like, I want them to feel as though you are more than just like the help desk position. Not that they're going to put me in a different position, because of course they're going to want me to continue learning, but to show them that, I'm kind of ready for like tier 2 or something, or come off like I know more than I should. So I want to get into this troubleshooting thing that we're doing right now, which we kind of already took enough notes on. Says, I'm happy till I joined college. I'm like 3 months in and already sweating. Damn, bro. Damn. Yeah, I know. I honestly felt the same way when it was coming around for college. Like, I always thought that it was going to be like a fun thing. And then when you really start to look at it, you're like, yeah, if I fail a class, I'm screwed. Like, this isn't like high school no more. And then, yeah, it starts to feel different. What's up, Seven? Damn, Seven, it's been a minute. He said, can you build a server? Hell no. Oh, wait, actually, what do you mean by build a server? I don't know if you're talking about, like, like a networking server, like, or for IT, or if you mean a server for something else. He said, yo, we got a hand cam. Yes, because some people, they can't really tell if I'm taking notes or not. So update the BIOS, check for installs. I feel like I already kind of would figure that. Reset the BIOS. I feel like I kind of would figure that as well. I just don't know where I would do any of this. And then it says adjust the BIOS settings, set the RAM timings and voltage to conservative. Yeah, I guess that it gets a little bit more deeper when it comes to the BIOS and software adjustments. So let me go and take some notes on that. But if we're talking about a server in the sense of like for IT support or for networking, oh yeah, I have no clue how to do that. I'm only a month in and I haven't even really learned, I want to say, I feel like I haven't even really learned anything that's going to apply towards help desk as of just yet, or even anything that's more deeper than that. As of right now, I've been just trying to get a little bit of the basics. So today is the first day I'm getting into module 4, which in module 4 in my learning curriculum is where I tend to finally learn some of the troubleshooting and some of the things that some people in help desk or in tier 2 or just IT support in general will be doing. But today is literally the first day that I'm getting some information like that, which is great, because in the beginning I've been really trying to focus on the basics. Like I want to learn and see like what is RAM. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea what it was. I didn't even know that it was like temporary storage. You could take it out, put it back in. The SSD or hard drive is better. Like I had no idea. So I had to learn all those things. And so finally now I'm getting a little bit into actual troubleshooting and actual fixes for certain issues that would pop up. But this in particular is the post beeps. So this probably isn't going to be something that I would have to really focus on in help desk. I think this is more of, if anything, like a tier 2, maybe tier 3 type of job. Maybe if I found something like this in help desk, I think I just would pass it to somebody else. But I do want to learn all these things because it can just be helpful and it can make me stand out compared to the rest, is hopefully my goal. That would hopefully be the goal, but who knows. So we gotta reset the CMOS / the BIOS. So I just want to make sure I get a good amount of notes on this topic as well. And then it's also good too because there's like plenty of YouTube videos that could really teach a lot of the help desk type of things. But something I'm realizing too is like I'm still kind of in hardware, that's why I'm trying to look specifically at the post beeps troubleshooting, because in hardware, I mean, since I'm still learning about hardware, I'm trying to learn about hardware fixes. So I'm trying to learn about hardware problems and how to tell what is a hardware problem and what isn't. So that's pretty much what my goal is when it comes to this particular thing that I'm learning now, because I still haven't even learned about software and the basics of software, and I still haven't even learned the basics of networking. So this is going to be a long journey, but I'm happy that we finally got are about to be at a month, literally a whole month in to learning IT. And normally it takes people, or in particular, I want to say like the community college that is near me. If you were trying to get your IT fundamentals, which CompTIA, which you don't need, but if you were to try to go for it, they actually do make you study for about 2 months. So I kind of feel like I'm up to par. I'm still on that like path of learning the basics within 2 months. Hopefully, I can get it done. But you already know me. My schedule is still busy, and it's gonna get even more busier because of the holidays coming up. So when it comes to me, learning or doing stuff like that, real quick. So when it comes to me learning and doing stuff like that, this would just be, I forgot what the hell I was saying. I forgot what the hell I was saying. Whatever, y'all get what I'm saying. I'm trying to learn the basics. That's pretty much what I was getting to. And I cannot wait to eventually get hands-on, but we got to get these basics in first. And I'm still like super stoked to finally be learning a little bit about help desk. Or not help desk, a little bit about IT support, like, how to fix certain things. And I feel like, the more that you kind of look at how to fix certain things, yes, it is a little bit of like an A, B, and C, but it's also kind of like have your own little path of how you're going to do it. Like, are you going to start with a PC reset? And then are you going to start with a BIOS or try to do a BIOS reset or update? If there needs to be an update, are you going to do a PC update? And then, are you going to try to eventually go into the hardware? Like how many steps are you going to try to do on the laptop before thinking, is this a hardware issue? And it kind of, when you think about it, it really is a little bit more of common sense. I know that's kind of hard to say, especially when some people don't know much about hardware, and even me, like I'm not saying it like I know everything to do, but the first thing you probably would do is reset your computer. It's like a lot of it is kind of stuff that we do for ourselves, and then how we normally fix things for ourselves without really knowing what we're doing. It kind of goes crazy. I'm like, damn. Further troubleshooting, run a memory test, use a memory diagnostic tool, perform stress tests. Like, see how, like, some of this is kind of stuff how you could do it, you could do this for anything, like if you're noticing there's something wrong with the PC, but you don't really know where to go, it's like you could do this further troubleshooting right here and try these things out, and then obviously if you don't understand it, at least you kind of have a list in your ticketing system. When you do send it up to tier 2, you could write down so many things that you ended up trying and so many things that you've seen, even if you don't get how to fix it. And that's why it's like you'll always do well when you have that in mind, because it's not like as long as you tried your hardest to try and fix it, and as long as you're not just constantly passing them up, like you just can't fix nothing, which I hope would not happen for me, but I think you should be set. So run a memory test. I don't know if I should write that down. Let me do further troubleshooting. But this is probably where I probably would want to kind of focus, and not in the sense of, oh, I need to focus on specifically if there is one beep in the post, right? Because we're following this right here. Exactly where we at right here. If there is one short beep for the BIOS or whatever, that it could be a DRAM refresh failure. The point isn't to kind of remember this. I mean, well, kind of it is, but most of it, I feel like for me, is to kind of remember the troubleshooting in itself. Like, I just want to remember some of the steps that I could take when it does come down to trying to figure out what is going on within this topic. You said, is DRAM the most popular kind of RAM? Is it the most popular kind of RAM? Honestly, I'm not even sure about that. Not even sure. Because I feel like I've never really gotten to the types of RAM. Like, I know I definitely took notes on RAM, but I feel like most of the types that I could remember mainly come down to, um, like the SSDs. Like, I feel like I remember seeing the SSDs and them telling me the different types of it, the different types for the CPU. I feel like they got more into detail about different things than the RAM for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea. Actually, no, not even neither, because I don't even think I took a note for DRAM. I think I took a note for VRAM, which that's for like the video, and I don't even think that it has anything to do with like actual not that it doesn't have anything to do with actual RAM, but I think VRAM is more or less for the video aspect of things, like what you're seeing on the screen. So I was like, I don't even think I took a documentation for DRAM. That probably should be something I look into. But I feel like that's a much more simpler question. You could just look that up and be an easy, like you wouldn't really need to take a note or even have that type of memorization unless you're going for a quiz, of course. Then it's kind of like, okay, maybe that is something you should remember. So we got perform stress tests. So we want to run stress test and then on the CPU. By the way, if you guys are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button. I am on the road to hopefully landing my first help desk position, but I want to make sure that I'm still getting a lot of the fundamentals of a computer down first before even really trying to apply and also have a good amount of understanding when it comes to troubleshooting, because I don't want to walk in there and not being as knowledgeable. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I'm understanding some things. So we got unstable, under load, perfection. And then lastly, it says seek professional help. If none of the above works, the RAM module itself may be physically damaged and may need replaced. So I'm probably going to put, well, I think I'm going to put professional help, but I think I'm already going to know that that pretty much just means pass it up if you're seeing something like this and you're confused. You said VRAM as in GPU RAM. Is that what you're talking about? Because now I'm confused. Now I'm lost. It says if none of the above of the steps work, so let me do if none work, the RAM module itself. So let's go RAM module itself may be physically damaged, which would obviously mean we got to go to a replacement. So, and we'll need a replacement, perfection. And then we're going on to the next, and I'm going to end up writing down, I feel like I want to write down exactly, oh yes, I believe, because you said VRAM as in the GPU RAM, sorry, you confused me. I thought you wrote DRAM, or I confused myself. I thought you wrote DRAM, so I think you said DRAM as in the GPU, and I was like, what? I was like, but yeah, I think the VRAM as in the GPU RAM, yes. Yes, that was the one that I ended up looking into for some reason. I don't know, I don't think I ever looked into DRAM, so what I'm going to do at the top of my screen, because you said is it the most important, so I'm probably going to try to see the differences there, but I'm gonna do that later because I still want to get a lot more into the troubleshooting. By the way, if you guys are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button. Come join me on this journey. We're almost about to be a month in to learning IT support, and as of right now, we're just getting a lot more of the basics. And currently today, this is the first time I'm diving a lot into the troubleshooting side of things. Because before, I was really just trying to understand a computer and its parts and a lot of its hardware. So now we're trying to get into the troubleshooting side of things, but we're still currently talking about hardware issues, I'm sure of. Of course, there's still things you could do without having to go towards the hardware as of yet, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm taking notes on right now, which is going to be super helpful. So I gotta see the parity circuit failure. Some of these you can click on, some of them you can't. So I want to be able to see how would we fix this. But like I said, a lot of it is just kind of, I can tell is going to be the same type of thing. Because see, it says typically is caused by faulty RAM or a problem with the motherboard's parity, I can't even say that right. Circuit itself. To fix it, first try reseating or replacing the RAM module. So that's what we ended up doing for the first one as well, for one short beep. But now it's saying to try the same thing, and if that doesn't work, check other components like the motherboard or the CPU, or even consider updating the BIOS. So it's funny because it's literally the same thing that we kind of took notes on before, but of course some of it is going to have a bit of different, things. I'm probably not going to write out as much as I did here if it's something, that we already took a deeper note on. I think I'm just going to write it more like this. So like reseat RAM, because the more that I write it, that means the more it's going to lock into my memory exactly what I should be looking for when certain things are going wrong with the computer. Right? And then I also got to make sure I take a quiz on these topics because I want to make sure that I'm learning, especially because I do tend to write and talk. So I don't want to like be lost at all. So reseat the RAM modules to ensure proper connection. Remove any recently added RAM as new memory can conflict with existing memory. I feel like that might be something I would think of on the spot. Replace the RAM modules as this is the most common cause of the parity error. So let's go take that down because now that's specifically about the parity. I'm probably saying that's so wrong. Circuit failure. So replace, oh wait, no, not that one. Oh no, yes it is. So replace RAM modules. I'm assuming that means to just take out the old ones in with the new. So as is the most common cause. So since this is the most common cause, which I'm surprised they didn't say if that was the first one, you might, like they said, actually, yeah, you might want to reseat it first, and then this might be the case at the end of the day. So we can go of a parity error, which is goated. I cannot wait until I get to that point where I could see, like, or go to websites where people give help desk tickets, and then I could try to use my own knowledge to kind of solve the issue. I cannot wait for that. So run a memory diagnostic, which we already kind of went deeper in. So run a memory test and see what's going on. And then we're going to put to test RAM thoroughly. So I guess this is just, another issue where the RAM is the problem here. The RAM is the problem here because they're not really trying to, and then now it's getting into the CPU, but it looks like most of it tends to be the RAM. So saying if replacing the RAM doesn't fix the problem, then the parity circuit on the motherboard itself may have failed. Okay, so it gets even more deeper. So now we're going to have to do check other parts of the hardware. So this is going to be like a, I don't know, I need a different symbol here. I can't do a circle. I guess I'll do a triangle. Check other parts, or check other hardware, which is super dope. And then we can hop down and talk about the CPU. So I'm just going to take this part as a note as well. The parity circuit on the motherboard itself may have failed. But yeah, I realized I tend to like reread the stuff that I want myself to kind of understand. Normally, if I feel like I don't need to know it yet, I just give you all my life story or I start talking about my YouTube videos. But right now, I'm currently sticking to trying to get myself to understand some of these troubleshooting aspects. But this can literally be used for anything. So next is to check the CPU for defects. Oh, okay, for defects. First of all, this would have to be so annoying. Like if you don't figure it out in the first like 3 tries, like you probably are gonna sit there and have a damn headache. But at least there's always kind of something that you could check. It just really comes down to experience and of course having a mentor. That's why I cannot wait to eventually land my first help desk position in the future because I really want to learn from people, if there is like a deep issue or even if they answer a ticket that I just really didn't know. Hopefully they can write, thoroughly inside of the ticket. But my goal when I start to work in these positions is going to be to try and interact with as much people as I can in these jobs so that I can kind of just learn a lot. So next it says inspect the motherboard for any physical damage such as bad capacitors. So inspect for visual damages. Oh, physical. I thought it said visual. So I mean, I guess technically it would be visual. Actually, I could have left that there. Such as bad capacitors, which is good. And then if you recently added new adapters or cards, try removing them one by one to see what is causing the issue. I think that probably would be my thought process if something ended up happening as soon as I added something new. So I feel like I don't need to take a note on that. That would probably be something I think of. So it says update and reset the BIOS. Update your computer's BIOS to the latest version to fix any potential issues. So it's basically the same exact thing. Is that now the BIOS, which we kind of don't need to go too much detail about, but just do BIOS update. And also try resetting. So BIOS update / reset. See if that could be the issue. Address and drop my damn pen. Environmental. I don't know why my chat is kind of stuck. Oh shoot, sorry, for some reason y'all I could not see my chat. Let me exit out and go here because I just noticed people are messaging. That's completely my fault, y'all. Oh no, it still won't pop up in my chat. That's weird. I'm gonna have to go to my YouTube screen. You said long time no see. Sorry, Regine. For some reason, your messages were not popping up. I don't know if you ended up leaving, but my fault, man. You said again, casually ignore me as I have never said a thing in months. I am out of here. Damn, I feel bad if you ended up leaving because I did not mean to do that. I don't know why your messages don't pop up in the chat, man. I don't know why. Oh, and then that's weird because there's even another message there too. It says you looks like her ex. That's why she's ignoring. Wait, that is so weird. Why is your messages not popping up in my chat? I guess I'm just gonna have to continue to watch the screen or something because I do not see any of your messages, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to continue to watch the screen on my phone and see if y'all are messaging. My bad, Regine. He probably ended up leaving. I feel bad. Oh, but that sucks. That was not my intention. I just don't see his messages in my chat. I don't know why. It says, ensure there are no issues with electrostatic discharge or electromagnetic interference from nearby devices and keep the computer's internal components clean and dust-free, which I think we should be fine there. Let's go move on to the next topic. By the way, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button as well. So now I think we can kind of exit out of this. It sucks because now I got to keep looking at my phone because I'm not getting nobody's messages. That's strange. And I don't even see as well. I don't even see the other dude's messages either, but I just see it on my screen. That's so weird. But it's all good. So we got the BIOS update. So last but not least, we gotta go, or not last, honestly, there's so much troubleshooting here that we gotta get into, but at least this should be rather quick now that we kind of already went deeper on different topics. So hopefully we can finish this a bit faster. So we gotta go beep, and we're going base 64K RAM failure. That was a K RAM failure. Is this the same thing? Is it just still, 64K? He said IP professional, what field? In particular, what I do want to end up getting into field-wise, I do want to get into networking. I think that's something that I'm really interested in. Obviously, as of right now, though, I am just learning the fundamentals because I don't know too much to, of course, get into any type of IT support field at all, not even help desk. So I'm trying to get myself to at least learn the fundamentals of IT. And right now we're just getting a bit of some troubleshooting going on from here for the post beeps that do end up happening. So, and obviously some of the things that I'm noticing is that a lot of the troubleshooting is very similar and the same to anything that you would do for anything else, which I think makes that so much more easier as an IT support specialist. But hey, And that's what's up. It says, however, this alert can be generated from a video card problem as well. So let's go and see. You can highlight here because it can also be both. But no, yeah, I really wanted to get into networking because I feel like networking, for one, is just way more interesting to me. But then also too, with networking, you said you will use Linux soon. Yes, I will. And I'm also planning on going for the Linux. I don't know if it's called the CompTIA Linux. I don't think so. I think it's just some like a certain certification for Linux that I do plan on going for in the future, of course, because we aren't even close to still to be even being able to pass a CompTIA A plus. So we got to make sure that we go down the basics. But right now we're about to hit a whole month of learning, which is super dope. But you know, there might be some people who feel like they could have learned the basics a little bit quicker than I. But what we need to understand with me is that I'm a very busy person outside of this, and the only time I get to study for IT or anything from IT is simply an hour a day. But yes, I still am going to keep pushing. I'm still going to get up every single day, even if, you know, there might be people who are able to move further ahead than me. And or, you know, at the end of the day, I just get up every day and try to learn regardless of how much time that I have. It says, caution, most of the steps below involve physically removing parts, which I believe, like I said, that's the whole point of this whole entire section. Simply because we want to, we're trying to learn, since I'm still currently learning hardware, they're trying to teach me about hardware fixes, even though a lot of this wouldn't be something I would do, I feel like, until I hit probably like IT support tier 2 or maybe a technician that goes to people's houses if they ever need help and stuff like that. You said, Linux is a kernel and it has distros. No, yes, I'm honestly not gonna hold you. Don't know what any of that meant. But thank you. Thank you, Mole. I don't know if you were trying to inform me, but that may have informed me. So they also have the same thing where they're telling you to reseat the hardware. Like I said, I'm assuming that's always going to be the first thing that you do if you have a hardware issue, just in case, because you don't want to sit there and start trying to mess with things. Just try to reseat it, see if that could be the problem. If not, then you get a little bit more deeper. Because it says when the computer is moved or over time, hardware components can be loosened. So that's actually something I did not take a note of earlier. So I do kind of want to write that down because I was kind of thinking you probably would want to reseat the hardware if someone just had like bought the computer because maybe, or just made the computer because maybe you put it in incorrectly. But now I'm realizing it's not about putting it in incorrectly. It's simply about the fact that it can move by itself. So it's not even like, basically what I'm trying to say is that you won't have hardware issues only because you just built your computer. You can have hardware issues just from having your computer over time. So that's something I want to make sure I take a note of because for some reason I only thought these issues could have arose where you needed to reseat the hardware is if you're like building your laptop. So I guess that's great for learning that. You said try fixing this issue by opening the computer, remove each memory stick and placing them back into their respective slots. Yes, I figured that one. Well, that's nice that they have a little bit like of a note here, like how to open a computer case. I like that. Then it's saying swap memory location. Try swapping the location. More specifically, remove all of your memories and replace it one stick at a time. Trying different memory slots. So are you telling me if I have 4 memory sticks that just sit there and just keep reseating them for a while? I don't know, man. I don't know. So then now we're going to do swap memory locations. Here we go. It may feel overwhelming, but don't worry, people will help. It's 3 a.m. for me, and I was troubleshooting about my drone project. Came up upon the stream. Hey, that's what's up, man. Thank you for coming in. 3 a.m. is hella early. It's hella early. For me, right now, it is 1 p.m. So that means we are across the damn world because, damn, 3 a.m. is crazy. But no, yeah. Definitely thank you, though. Thank you for trying to inform me on a couple of things. Or these are probably some things that I can go look up on my own, too, whenever I get into, get into Linux and stuff like that. But I feel like for me, so far, it hasn't really felt too overwhelming because I feel like hold on real quick, let me write this part down. Because I feel like for me, my first journey of me trying to like learn something for 7 months was web development, which ultimately made me have to learn JavaScript. And I don't think I'm like the best person when it comes to JavaScript or coding in general. But I think if you can learn even a little bit of coding, you can seriously learn anything in this world. So if it's not coding for me, I normally don't get stressed or I don't get like a headache, I don't worry. It just feels super easy to me if it's not coding. I was like, wow. So dummy happy about that one. Dummy happy about that. So we gotta do trying different memory slots. Damn, I feel so bad for Regime. I hope he's still here. I feel like such an a-hole. I cannot see his damn messages. And then he said I did it again with ignoring him. So that means he's probably commented so many times before. And I don't know why his messages don't pop up in my chat. It says this method helps identify defective memory sticks in motherboard slots. Recently added hardware. If you've attempted to add memory to a computer and have since started getting beeps, oh yeah, so this is something that I was thinking about, is if you just added the hardware and then there's an issue, could be that. But it says if the computer works fine after taking out the RAM, your memory is either incompatible or defective, and the same methodology can be applied to a recently added video card. So you could do the same. So do the same to a recently added video card. So I guess it's basically the same type of thing. That's why I keep saying the troubleshooting kind of is similar. He said, are you studying how computers work or like PCs BIOS stuff? Right now, in particular, I believe we're getting into the BIOS beeps and how those beeps can tell you what's wrong with some of your hardware. So it's kind of like, I feel like I took enough notes of how a PC works and the hardware kind of things. I mean, the hardware side of things, sorry. And I'm basically trying now to see what type of sounds does your computer make when there's something wrong with your hardware, and then how to troubleshoot your hardware. So today's like the first day where I'm actually getting like hands-on, or well, not hands-on because I'm not opening the laptop, but where I'm actually, learning what to do when there's something wrong with the hardware. Because at first that wasn't what I was doing. I was just learning hardware, but now I'm kind of learning the IT support side of things if there's something wrong with your hardware during your BIOS. So after installing anything inside your computer, try rebooting it 2 or more times. Some computers require a few restarts before they detect new hardware. So if this works, but you had to reboot computer several times each time you started your computer, you may still have an incompatible memory. So reboot a couple times, I'll say 2 or more times, because sometimes the computer may not work, or not the computer won't detect new hardware. But if you have to do this often, it's possible. It is possible that your memory stick and or video card. So memory stick, damn, they have a bunch of different names for RAM. Like, what the hell are we doing? And then the video card, is that the VRAM? Or is the video card something completely different? I have to remember, like, I don't know, I don't understand why they use a bunch of different names. It just throws me off. Wait, what did I write? I can't even see what the hell I wrote. I said, do it often. It's positive? Like, what the hell am I saying? I said, if this works, but you have to reboot the computer several times each time your computer starts, you may still... I don't even know what word that could be. But if you have to do it often, I'm just going to X that out then. I don't know. Memory stick or video card is incompatible. I'm like, did I write positive? I probably did write positive, and I think I probably wrote what I said. It was one of those moments. So incompatible memory. All right, Bammers. So try working components from a separate computer. They have a couple more things. Let me see, just in case if somebody commented, I just can't see it in my chat. And I think everything looks fine. You said, hey, I found your channel recently and really respect the grind. Thank you so much, Alex. Truly, truly, truly. I'm really on like a hardcore grind right now. I'm about to have a video hopefully come out later tonight, which I just recorded right before this live stream. And then now I'm live. And then I gotta go to work right after this. So it's crazy. I have a busy schedule and I've just been straight grinding. You said grinding. I said grinding. Pause. But it says VRAM is the video card's registers. Oh, okay. So wait, so did I get that right then? Because now you threw me off when you said registers. I think I got it right. So if you have another computer with a compatible video card or memory, try them in yours. If other computer hardwares work, you know the problem lies with the original hardware. I'm not about to sit here and take somebody else's video card to figure out if my video card is wrong. At that point, I would just think, I mean, I guess maybe you would want to do that, because then what if you just bought a new one and then it still doesn't work? So then it actually comes down to your PC and you spent hella money for no reason. I could see that being an issue. I didn't expect me to take that much notes, honestly, for this one. But you know what? It is worth it. I do love the fact that I'm kind of getting a little bit of what type of troubleshooting you would want to do, you know, whenever, what type of troubleshooting you would want to do whenever certain things are going wrong with the hardware. And it's just very similar, no matter the BIOS beeps. It is very similar. So if there's a force short beep, it's a system timer failure. So I'm assuming when it's saying timer, are we talking about the actual like timing thing that they have, or is this still something else? I forgot what the hell it's called. So the power on self test is a set of procedures that a computer runs each time, so it ensures that the system's hardware is working properly. Did I click the right one? This is the post troubleshooting? Or maybe they sent me to the wrong, like, system timer failure. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think this is about the system timer anymore. So remove new hardware. Check all the cables. Yeah, I'm not sure this is about the system timer. They probably sent me to the wrong website, right? Because if I click this, yeah, see, that one's like how to fix the 820. I click virtual mode. Oh, then this puts me back to the troubleshooting. So some of these don't actually send you directly to where you're looking for. So let me just go and copy this. Oh my goodness, I have to sneeze. You said try studying bare metal. Is going to give you a lot of insight. Okay, but does it stick to hardware though? Because as of right now, I don't really want to move anywhere until like I finish kind of learning in particular what I'm trying to learn. So when computer starts to beep, 4 beeps, then nothing. Let me try and see this. Does this help with the troubleshooting? I have a custom built-in computer. Oh, someone just answers it. Ooh, this is a nice little website. 4 beeps, no display, please help. Oh, so on the sad. People actually have like straight up really have these issues all the time. That is crazy. But yeah, I was gonna say, does bare metal end up helping me with the hardware side of things, or is it still kind of like software-ish or help desk-ish? I do want to know. I do need to know. Okay, let me go back here. So a system timer failure can be fixed by checking and reseating all internal components. Oh my goodness, especially the RAM and the graphics card, ensuring they are properly seated. So this gets a little bit more deeper. So this time for this, you want to check and reseat all components. All components. Especially, so a lot of this has, you know, a lot of it has to do with the RAM as well. Like normally, so far with the first 4 that we have done, the RAM has just been the issue. But this one also says the graphics card and then reseating everything. But to just focus a little bit more on these topics and ensuring proper seating. So ensure proper seating. I don't want to really read these other websites because these websites don't really teach it. It's like they're trying to help other people learn, and I'm not about to go through everything that they're saying. So that's why I can't wait to use a lot of my web dev knowledge. So whenever I can actually make these type of websites. So for instance, how I can't find a system failure fix website and I have to go through like the AI thing. All this does is kind of excite me. Well, maybe those 2 right there could have helped. But all this is kind of excite me in that way, because now I'm realizing I can use my web dev experience and create a website that can teach all of this. So you said it's like firmware, like BIOS level, like binary level. Oh, okay. Other solutions include cleaning RAM slots and contacts. So I definitely have to go and check that out then. By the way, if you guys are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button. Come join me on this journey. I plan to hopefully land a help desk position, but I really want to go down the networking path. We're still in the beginning. It's only day 26, about to be a month, so we got to learn these fundamentals. So we already got some of these, so clean. And like I said, I'm going to keep writing these down because the point is to try and implement this into my memory. Obviously, if you write things down once, you're not really going to remember it, especially if I don't have much of hands-on experience. You know, most of your memory is going to come from actually doing these tasks at jobs or doing it for people. So another way I feel like you can have good memory is rewriting. I think that could be the best, to rewrite it and kind of, you don't have to go too deep, but just rewrite it. This says to replace the CMOS battery, which I actually don't believe any of them said for me to do that. So that's crazy. It says you could replace the CMOS battery, and then updating the drivers can also help as well, which I don't think they said that either. They said updating the BIOS, unless the drivers are supposed to be considered the BIOS, but I doubt it. I think the drivers should be something else. So if the issues persist, a failing motherboard may be the cause, and further investigation of the CPU and power supply may be necessary. So if persisting, it says a failing motherboard, and then CPU and power supply, investigate. But I do really plan on, I'm not sure exactly when, but I want to buy a PC, and I want to like take it apart, kind of name what each part is, without removing the power supply. Obviously the PC I'm going to buy is going to be like broken, and or just because I'm not going to sit there and spend hella money just to open it and close it, and then what if I broke stuff? So it's like, no, I want to be able to allow myself to practice. So I feel like what I'm going to do is probably buy an already broken PC, and then just going to look at the hardware and just keep, putting it back together so that I can also get the necessary strength or like clicking that you need to do without breaking stuff. Because I went to like a RAM video one day just because I really wanted to see RAM, and I wanted to see what it looked like to install RAM. And I read the comments, and a lot of people were like, thank God you documented that, showing that, you pushed it down, like kind of with a little bit of pressure, because they were like, I wouldn't have felt comfortable putting in my RAM because I thought I would have broke it. And I was like, damn, I never actually thought about that. Like, what if you do push it down too hard and you do break it? So it's like, I would want to get some practice with stuff that won't matter. Someone commented, see, it's this, your comments don't show up either. Your name is, let me see, because your comments don't show up neither, and I need to like look at my screen. Your name is 4YouTube1 or 4Y21, right? I don't know why your comments and Regime's comments don't pop up on in my comment section at all. It only pops up on my screen. So I don't know what that's about. It says you said you want to go into the networking field, but you did certification on web dev and then you study for IT support. I am confused. All right, so let me go and explain what I'm doing. So when it comes to web dev was always a side hustle type of thing. Well, I got to get off my live stream anyway because I got to start getting ready for work. So I can definitely answer this question rather quickly. So my BIOS was messed up. Resetting CMOS battery works, but I used old ThinkPad A. Okay, that's what's up. Let me go and read the comment. Let me screenshot it too because it's about to disappear. It is about to disappear. But no, yeah, so with web dev, I always wanted to do web dev as a side hustle. So I've already been stating that for web dev, I am going to be pivoting, but I'm still going to be using web dev in the sense of making finished products or making websites for IT support. So for instance, one of my first websites that should be coming out on Friday is going to be the introductions to IT support or like the introduction to computer basics. And I'm just going to make the website look nice and then obviously add the information in, with the goal is still, with the main intention being about IT support, but it still allows me to use my web dev knowledge. Now for web dev, I feel like I kind of already finished that chapter. So I'm already doing web dev. I already am going to be doing it as a side hustle. And that was my whole plan and plot for web dev. It was never to be a career path or even to make thousands of dollars. It was simply just to make a couple $100 a month and just keep pushing forward. Like I never seen web dev as a career. I'm probably thinking like one client a month. Like it would never be that deep. Web dev was just something I did for fun, a side hustle, and also just because I wanted to learn JavaScript. And eventually I want to learn Python. Like I love coding languages, but it was never meant to be a career. Now when I'm saying IT support, is because it's kind of difficult to jump from knowing all about networking and then actually landing a networking job, right? They're going to want you to know IT support and they're going to want you to have IT support knowledge and IT support work experience. So when I keep saying I can't wait to land in a help desk position or, go to tier 2, I'm saying those things because that's something I'm going to have to do before I can land my networking role. Networking is the main task, but we got to be realistic. I can't just run up in there, even if I had the knowledge and get the job. Like some jobs might do it, but the jobs that I currently want to get into, which are the big tech companies, they're going to want you to have experience before you ever touch a network. So it's kind of like, that's why I keep saying what I'm saying. It's not that I'm all over the place. I think what comes down to is that some people just miss certain things that I'm saying. Because I've always said web dev was a side hustle and that chapter is closed. Like, we aren't reopening that chapter. I'm only going to be using it on Fridays in a project-based way because at least it still helps me build my web dev skills. And then also, too, it's something that I could use even for myself in the future whenever I plan on making courses for IT support near like down the line. A lot of it, like I think the problem is that a lot of things that I'm saying is stuff that I'm currently trying to do now, but you won't see it into the future, so it's kind of hard to like follow along. So it seems like I'm all over the place, but in the end it's always going to have a purpose, and then when it happens in the future, you're going to be like, I get it now. You know what I mean? Because it's hard because a lot of things aren't seen yet. I haven't done it yet. But when that video on Friday comes out, maybe it will be a little bit more understandable on what I'm trying to exactly do. And then also too, we understand the career path to try and get into networking. So it shouldn't be too difficult to understand, but I know that it sometimes, it gets hard. But I just cannot wait to just end up going down this path because I have a lot of plans, I have a lot of ideas, and I'm trying to keep a lot of it, realistic, like I said. Because if you sit there thinking that you are gonna, let's say you have networking knowledge and you think you're gonna land a networking role like this, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna need IT support experience, and right now I'm learning the fundamentals to try and get into jobs that can offer those experiences. Because I don't know too much about anything, not even like no type of troubleshooting knowledge. Like, I could probably guess a lot of things. When I say I can restart the computer or reset, the BIOS, like I know you could reset the BIOS or update the BIOS. But I don't really know how. I haven't seen the screen. I haven't done it myself. I just know how to talk about it. I know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to do it. Even with reseating RAM, I've never reseated RAM. I just know that you should reseat RAM. I know what it might look like, just never really completed it. So that's kind of the way that I see this whole entire journey. But listen, it will all make sense when the whole entire chapter continues to unfold and things start to, and you also watch my YouTube content. Because my YouTube content is going to be more straightforward to the point. My live streams, depending on when you hop in, you're going to hear some different things, and that's probably why it can get a lot more confusing during those times. So my BIOS was messed up. Resetting the CMOS battery works. Oh yes, that was actually something that I wrote down recently. I think I did. I wrote it down for, I think, 2 short beeps or something like that. So it's pretty dope. You said buy a used old ThinkPad. Ooh, that's a good one. I could end up going for that. You said learn more about BIOS. No, 100%. I actually took plenty of notes, I feel like, on BIOS. I think my thing, though, is that I just need to kind of see what BIOS looks like, but I took a good amount of notes for the BIOS, and I think I have like a pretty good understanding of it. I just think my thing is I want to see the troubleshooting steps for certain BIOS issues. Like I already took notes for the BIOS order. I took notes for wanting to change the BIOS order just in case if there's certain things wrong. Let me go and see because I think I have a couple of them here. I was saying in the process would prefer proceed further. Let me see. I don't know. I feel like for me, I kind of just have to see what the BIOS looks like. Like I know what it is. I took a good amount of notes on it. But a lot of the things I want to focus on is really the troubleshooting side of things. But I've written down how to find, size, and verify the system's main memory, how to initialize the BIOS, how to identify and organize and select the devices, verify CPU registers. Oh, I guess I did take a note on that one, but I probably didn't think it was that deep. So I may have ignored it. But we took a good amount of things for the BIOS. I think when it comes down to stuff like that, though, a lot of it is repetitiveness, flashcards, and then being hands-on, of course. It says, you are a warrior, and I know you will make it big, man. Thank you so much for that. I hope so. I hope so. I'm really trying. Like that's why I'm really trying to, with the merch, I've been really making that and trying to like advocate for it outside of YouTube because I feel like I don't want to like push it on you guys. Obviously, I think right now it's like popping up on screen. But I don't really want to like push it on you guys. But if you guys obviously wanted to go buy merch, that would be super dope. But then I ended up just getting, the channel monetized. And then on top of that, I'm just a grinder. I really just want to get things done. I'm very ambitious. And I'm just happy to have different avenues where income could possibly become a source. That's like what IT support or learning all of this stuff that we're learning right now. You could really use a lot of that as or in a side hustle way, as in, build custom PCs for people and make money. You could do IT support for like people in their homes, right? Just like show up. Obviously, well, don't just show up, that would be crazy, but if people need some help, you can advocate yourself as like an IT. I think it'll be like an IT support technician, but you might not want to be working at an actual job because they'll take a cut of that. So you'd want to have these people as your own clientele and kind of just show up and fix things, right? You could sit there and make courses on what you have learned. You can sit there and do phone repairs on the side. I know that's like probably not really IT. Oh, would it be? Somewhat. I mean, it's a little bit different, but you get what I'm saying. There's just so many different avenues in a side hustle type of way where you can make it into a career while making money on the side. And I feel like for me, this is like one of the best things you could chase, truly, hands down, especially because technology is expensive, which means you would ultimately get paid a little bit more. Someone said, okay, now I understand. Okay, that's what's up. It says on new PC, there is no BIOS, mainly UEFI. Oh yes, I was just looking into that actually. They gave me a note that BIOS is outdated, and that BIOS is mainly for like older type of computers, but that some computers still use BIOS to this day that are a bit more updated. But that it is UEFI. Yes, I was definitely gonna be taking notes on that in the future. But since you'll come across this, so go on slowly, don't rush. No, yes, yes. Because that's why I'm still kind of focused on BIOS, is because a lot of people don't have newer computers. So to me, it's kind of like they're probably gonna I'm probably gonna be dealing with a lot more people who do deal with BIOS more than the newer one. So that's why I'm trying to, I'm gonna stick to this, like you said, and then pretty much eventually get into what UEFI is and how to do that. I probably am straight up mispronouncing that, but it's okay. I kind of like calling it UEFI. You said, hello, new to this channel. Can you please tell me what's going on in this live? I'm actually about to go and end this live because I just had finished everything that I've done. So if you want to end up tuning in for tomorrow's live, that might be better for you because right now I'm just kind of doing like a Q&A where people just ask questions, I answer, move forward. But today we basically were learning about the post BIOS beeps and the beep codes and how you can fix that, mainly revolving around the hardware of the computer. I don't know too much about IT support just yet though, so right now a lot of it is more or less learning and kind of learning about troubleshooting, learning what to do if these certain topics came up. Because as you can see, we're on day 26, meaning we're about to make a full month in learning IT support, but I'm still kind of trying to be in the fundamentals. Today was the first day where I actually got into the troubleshooting side of things. So like what I probably would do as an IT support specialist if I ever got into that role. So today was a little bit more funner. I feel like we got more into like the nitty gritty of IT support, which was super dope. But yes, we are nearing the end of this. So if you guys are new and you just ended up joining the stream now, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button and catch me tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. EST to 1:30 p.m. EST. And if you want, you can even rewatch this live stream so that you can end up seeing what we did today to see if it's something that you are interested in. And it's okay if you're not. It's okay if you're not. And by the way, I do have merch, which should possibly be popping up on the screen if you ever wanted to. My goodness, my throat. If you ever wanted to support me in any type of way, that would probably be one of the best ways. But I love y'all. Y'all have been super goated. Thank you for having this conversation. I got to get ready for work. Catch y'all in the next one. Deuces. Oh, damn, I'm not even there. Deuces.